Very interesting session. This is about homemaking. This is about the mother. We all consider mother as useless because her work cannot be computed in terms of the income, because income is computed only on what gets sold. If labor does not get sold, it is not income. The GDP is just flat if mother, does her work. So we have kept this in order to raise questions. This is certainly not going to make answers to this problem, but we want to tell the world that look, you are not computing a whole lot of the most beautiful things in the world. We have Dr. Shamala Devi and Dr. J.K. Suresh on the panel to discuss homemaking. Dr. Suresh is a scientist and who has done a lot of work in software and things like that, but now he's an activist of the Lokavidya Samiti. Lokavidya Samiti, as you all know, is one of the earliest science organizations to challenge this notion of science being only of the modern thing, and they talked of the Lokavidya, the people's knowledge, and how to compute people's knowledge, how to recognize people's knowledge, and how to understand the people's knowledge is what they have done a lot of work on. Now let's begin with Shamala, and then Suresh will respond.
Thank you, Prasanna. What?
6 minutes.
Yeah. I do not work, I am just a housewife. This is the usual statement we all hear every day, every housewife makes. This statement will run throughout my presentation. This session, as Prasanna mentioned, raises more questions than it answers. This deals with homemaking. What is homemaking? Homemaking is nothing but all the activities that carried out within the household for the family's sake. I'm not going into too much of academic discussion and definitions of all that, but I will just give you the NSS National Sample Survey defines these tasks as production, processing and services for household consumption. Therefore, the work does not come under financial costing or takes into consideration the market dynamics. So these are classified as unpaid family labor. So there is no wages, there is no costing, how much each activity is worth. Everything is done on the basis of responsibility, relationship and commitment, and that is for the family. Since it is not sold in the market, what is the status of this? How is this treated socially and officially? How does the official data collects these accounts, values are crucial questions that we have to ask. As you all know, family is a basic, most decentralized unit where the first-hand production of food, medicine, of so many things, I don't want to mention because all of us know about it, happens. Let me just tell you how this has been reported in census, which is a very, I don't know whether it is ignorance or neglecting the sector of household labor, or this is inability to measure or assign value to it. Some years back, the census classified it as in the category of prisoners, prostitutes and beggars and housewives. All these three categories were put in the one box. As you all know, census puts various sectors into one as it is related or comes under the same category. Studies and common sense reveal that almost all unpaid family laborers are women. With exception of course. Why is it not accounted for work? Why don't we define it as work? Is it not work? Various studies have shown that women on average work 12 to 15 hours a day. The poorer the family, more work in terms of physical exertion and the number of hours of work. Research has found that household tasks involve great intellect, mental and emotional abilities since it involves human relationships. Besides planning, worrying, organizing, delegating and further other aspects, emotional aspects. Importantly, household tasks involves a woman to take multiple roles, thus requiring different skills. Women take the role of a teacher, doctor, nurse, counselor, economist, and so on. The routine tasks of household tasks are repetitive, time-bound, has lot of variations. For example, marriage, festival, sickness, and death. Therefore, work is ordered, boring, and challenging. Yet, it should go on. Just imagine if housewives go on strike for 3 days in this country. What may happen? Let us imagine. Can you imagine that? Women here, can you all go on strike?
I can imagine.
When women work at home for the family, it is not only unpaid and it is not reflected in national statistics or economic analysis of workers. Interestingly, those engaged in household tasks are categorized as non-workers and hence unproductive. In calculating most of the national economic indicators by census, NSSO and other government organizations, surprisingly, census reports never take this into account. Within the family, women work is governed by the dominant social norm and is taken for granted as women are bound to do it without questioning. Both men and women accept this. It's not only men, it's women also accept it. This is also because they think it is an extension of their biological role of bearing and nurturing the children. Why is it so? I mean, the questions are numerous. Why is this so? Is economics for everyone? Housewives are an invaluable and unpaid resources, but definitely not unproductive. The usual reasons given to this are many. This is part of overall social duty towards family and women.
Patriarchy.
Sorry?
Patriarchy.
Patriarchy, okay. Assessment is difficult, most work is intangible, cannot be measured. But this is demolished by the studies because they say a lot of work involves fetching water, fuel, fodder. All this is tangible time consuming, there is effort, all this can be measured. This is straightforward and direct tasks. Even if we agree that some of them are tangible, the emotional aspect, the relation aspect, and making for the sake of love, all that, if you accept also, at least 50%, some of the studies have shown, at least 50% of the work performed within the family can be measured, can be recorded, can be valued. Why is state not taking work? It's not only state, it's the society also. They do not consider, do not give any valuation to this. Undermining women's ability to financial management, development loans were given. See, these are some of the implications of not understanding women's capacity, not considering as work. Some of the national development programs have created blunders. In the beginning, when they actually constructed some of the development programs, was based on the fact that women do not work, they have a lot of time. Make some income generation program as anti-poverty programs. So that was based on the notion that women have time to do. But when they introduced it, they came to know that they cannot take because already overworked. They do not have time. Similarly, when they introduced the financial loans for different income generation programs, only men were given because they are head of the family and they have something to show to the bank as collateral. And as a result of it, what happened? The repayment was very low. Then they thought, yes, it should be diverted to women. And very soon they found out that the repayment rate was improved and women started doing very good financial management. See, now the question is it not work? Why is it not given? See, it's also a lot of estimation has been done. If you really estimate this as work, the GDP will increase 3 times more. But why? Why is it not done? Why are they not given the valuation? First of all, it is money-centric. Our economics is money-centric. Everything is measured in terms of money. Only when you earn money, you will be given value to it. You are considered as a worker. But interestingly, in the morning session also, they actually pointed out certain points like, what is the value of women in child rearing? She has to be creative in child rearing. She has to be a psychologist to understand the child's. So she is in national building activity of not only producing children, but making them a good citizen. Giving them good food, so she looks after health. In one of the symposiums like this, there was a voice of several women saying, hey state, see, half of your welfare work is done by women. Give her that credit. What she is doing is all the responsibilities and hard work of women is contributing for the welfare of the nation, and that is national building. So let us come out one step from money-centric, cash-centric economy and see what else is important, what else is value, and how to account for it. I'm sure there are indices where the lot of health indicators and other indicators have been developed now. Even this can be developed without measuring in terms of money. So rest of it, I'll leave it to Suresh to substantiate.
Thank you. Thank you. Shamala has said a lot to depict and describe the conditions of women and the evaluation of her labors. What I would like to do is to add another perspective to this, the perspective of knowledge and knowledge work. If one were to stand back and try to understand what does a woman, a whole-time homemaker, actually do? If you look at it from various levels, it's very apparent that it has components of knowledge, it has components of imagination, it has components of choice making, and it has components of action. Now, the point is, if you were to actually reflect a little more on this and look at the life of a software engineer, or perhaps a consultant from McKinsey, or perhaps so many people, different kinds of walks of profession, which are called as knowledge professions, to understand that there is not very great differences. There aren't many differences between the work of a woman at home. She has a budget, she manages resources, she manages people, she also has outcomes which are measured every meal, every point in the day. And in what way would this be less than, I was asking Shamala yesterday, how would this be less than the efforts of, let's say, a very senior project manager at Wipro or Infosys and so on? And as a woman who heads a much larger household and actually manages even more money, in what way would she be less than a Sikka, perhaps a Nimakwala and so on? How is it that these distinctions actually have come into force? That brings us to the next point, that we seem to be trapped. We seem to be trapped in categories, ideas, and conceptions of the world which are 200 years old. They were meant to describe a world of Europe, originated in Europe and universalized across the rest of the world, which describes the relationship between man and nature, man, and what we call as ontologies, essentially a representation of how we understand the world around us, how we understand what knowledge is, and how this knowledge actually plays a part in our lives, livelihoods, relationships, and so on and so forth. Now, to take one step back, if you look at 200 years ago, this is where the massification of society happens, and as a consequence of that, the politics of the time can be defined purely in terms of the methods of reason or science and so on. And it is this which determines, and most of you would agree with me almost immediately when we say that the politics of the time is the one that devalues and determines what value should be ascribed to different kinds of labor. The distinction between mental labor and physical labor is also an origination of this particular period of time. It is because you distinguish between mental and physical labor that you speak about dignity of labor. Neelkanth Mama does not speak about dignity of labor, because for him, the distinctions does not exist here. That's the fundamental difference. And this lays the basis for not merely politics to neglect the knowledge activity of the woman. Please remember that 50% of this world not only neglects the knowledge activity of the woman, but also puts it in a very fundamentally disadvantaged position. That's the politics of the day. The economics of the day, which most of you possibly use employ the terms from economics, that continues to actually add insult to the injury, because it creates this category of different levels of labor, and therefore, if a hamburger flipper, for example, gets $3 an hour in the USA, or possibly a person in a hotel gets about 10 rupees an hour, then somebody from McKinsey will be possibly charging $300 an hour. Or the equivalent here is the kind of arrangement that we have set up in this country. Given this, what seems to happen is the economics follows the politics of the day in actually devaluing much of the labor of the majority. Please keep this point in mind, because I want to associate the woman's problem with that of the larger problem in society. And then you look at science. Science also objectifies the suffering of this majority of people after they have suffered the politics of being pushed for the majority, to be pushed into a corner because the activity is not seen as knowledge activities. Economics devalues them, science objectifies them. And ultimately, there is an arrangement which actually dehumanizes them. This, in turn, is essentially what has happened to the majority of the world, 80% of this world. Now, if one were to value this only because it fell into the market, that is only to the advantage of capital. Many of us who speak about capital and its relationship to labor and land and so on, miss this very important point that if one were to reject this conventional understanding of the market as the basis for value creation or value ascription, then we arrive at immediately a liberation, an ideology of liberation, which is fundamentally different from what we have today. So it is not through the plea to the government that we actually need to be kinder to us, set up this kind of a commission, that kind of a commission, but actually to say that this is my right. Look at this difference in the language and the ideology that we employ, or the terms that we employ in order to look at the world. We are not saying be kind to us and give us our rights. We are saying this is our right. $3 trillion could be the economical value of this GDP of this country, but then it is likely to be, if the labor of the woman is taken into account, that of the farmer is taken into account, that of the potter and the ironsmith is taken into account, it could well be 10 trillion. And if you were to actually leave these people of India to actually determine their future without really interfering at every point in their life, then it could be a $30 billion. This based on my point.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful. It was really, really wonderful. It was wonderful because apart from the very obvious thing of money dictating everything, one other point came into focus, which I want to refocus here because that's very crucial. The thing of drudgery. It will be doing dull, dumb work. All the handmaking people are accused of being dumb, of doing things without skill. Whereas handmaking, the essential aspect of handmaking is skill. Without skill, there is no handmaking. You know, even the most ordinary thing of mud work, there's so much of skill. You go and try and lift one this thing of mud, you will not be able to do because there's so much of skill involved in it. And when you go to other skills like looms and all that, it is just not possible for you. Whereas we think that the people who get paid, they are the skilled ones. They are not skilled. I would like to say that they're dumber than the so-called dumb housewife or the so-called dumb handmaking people. Thank you very much. Thank you.